I've learned that once elected as a leader or in a leadership position, you must prepare to make hard decisions, and that as a leader, you should not always seek popularity.
Nowhere else is the vibrancy of the rule of law more profoundly illustrated than in the independent judiciary that has taken an active stance in enforcing its interpretation of the Constitution.
There is no universal consensus on even a working definition of terrorism as we speak. So you cannot get a text in any library and say, this is how terrorism is defined.
If you talk to the county government of Garissa and Mandera, they will tell you that many of the students, when they have no hope of joining a university or getting a job or an identity card, have opted to go to Somalia.
So it's not as simple as just terrorism. The financial network that has been created internationally not only allows a legitimate businessman to conduct their business, but it also allows the illegitimate businessman, who is not really a businessman, to hide their money. And this is where the interplay becomes extremely problematic.
Over the last 50 years plus, what has happened is that state security has been used to justify suspending civil rights, to justify the making of war, and the massive reallocation of resources.
In applying the provisions of the Bill of Rights, the court shall adopt the interpretation that most favours the enforcement of a right or fundamental freedom.
And I'm saying this because terrorism is not just to be found in those kind of informal settlements. So you cannot therefore authoritatively say that because we are poor, therefore we are likely to become a terrorist. That's the point I'm saying. It's more complicated than that. Osama bin Laden was not a poor person. He came from a billionaire family, as you know, in Saudi Arabia. The people who did the 9/11 business were trained pilots, very educated people. They studied in the US. It had nothing to do with poverty. So you cannot single out, therefore, surgically and say poverty causes terrorism.
We need to look and see how we can re-engineer our society back to where it was before, back to when we were safe. This is the message had I made my address, unfortunately I made the President's address, which I'm very happy to have done, would like to deliver. That corruption is in your hands, more so lawyers' hands to deal with.
The Law Society has played and continues to play a very critical role in shaping our country's policies. I keep reminding critics of LSK that more than any other profession, members of the Law Society paid the heaviest price in the fight to expand democratic space and in achieving constitutional and legal reforms that this country now enjoys.
It becomes easy for litigants to say that for you to be able to conduct your case with some reasonable measure of success, probably go to such and such a lawyer because he has access to judges. Every lawyer who says that I want to contest in that position should be ready to also sign an undertaking that I'll not practice in those courts at all.